Never be afraid to make mistakes. Perfectionism was definitely one of my downfalls. I'm human. I am, go, go, go. Laugh it off, whatever. Because really, everybody's kind of so focused on themselves that you think that everybody's paying attention to you, but you're a slip in and a slip out. There's always somebody struggling that's like looking for that hope that, okay, somebody else got out of this or somebody else is doing this.
Join me, Jeremy Swick, on Into the Unknown, a podcast that delves into the personal journeys, stories, and experiences of individuals across diverse professions. As a historian by trade, I firmly believe that our personal histories shape our present and offer valuable insights into our paths ahead. With that being said, let's get into it. On this episode of Into the Unknown, I am joined with a very special guest, Justine Charcier. How are you doing today, Justine?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. It's been a pretty good day overall.
Amazing.
So, I always like to kick off the show just talking about the importance of networking. How are we connected?
We connected through Olivia Atkin. She arranges podcasts. She is, I believe, the host of Achieving Success. And that's how I got my connection with you. And she's, wonderful.
Olivia is great. Anytime I get a chance to pump up Olivia, I go for it. She was a guest on the show as well, and she just does such a great job at connecting people, and I really appreciate her.
Yes, yeah, me too. I had done a session with her as well, and it was wonderful. She has so much energy.
She really does. I love that. Let's jump into it. I want to know that comic book issue number 1, origin story. Who are you?
So my name is Justine Charcier. I am a registered nurse and a migraine coach. I have suffered from migraines, or had suffered from migraines for over 18 years. It was quite a huge part of my life, very debilitating. It got to a point where they were coming on about 2 to 3 times a week. I just could not bear it anymore. Along with that, and a bunch of life stressors, shift work, family issues, marriage. It just got to a point where I really couldn't handle it anymore. I started getting anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and I had to find a way to kind of be able to manage that on my own. I got sent to a bunch of specialists. They really couldn't help me. And then I had to find kind of a whole new way of treating myself, really getting to the root cause of my issues, learning how to manage my stress, learning how to regulate my emotions. And then I was finally able to break free, and I haven't had a migraine for a year and a half. I am actually enjoying my job again at work. I'm more able to care for my patients and be there emotionally for my patients. And it's been wonderful. That's a little bit about me.
I love to hear that. I'm glad, things have gotten better. What got you into nursing to begin with?
As a child, I always kind of wanted to get into like healthcare, but it was more animal related. I did get pregnant at a very young age, 19. I was on my own, a single mother. And at the time, nursing just seemed like a really great, stable career. I could do a lot with it. It was going to be very beneficial for me and my son. And the university in my city in Winnipeg, they have a French university, and I was able to get in within like 3 months. Started the program, and that was it. I fell in love with it.
I love that. So how long have you been a nurse?
About 11 years now. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. What is something that I guess has you continuing nursing? What's kept you in the field?
Definitely my patients, always. I worked in many different areas, emergency, intensive care, and high acuity medicine. And yeah, it's my patients. It's caring for them. It's hearing their stories, just giving them that safe space, making them feel safe, and just having that like space to heal. Um, yeah, patient safety really is definitely a top priority for me. I see a lot in the hospitals that I really wish would change, and change needs to happen. And that's also a reason why I continue to stay in the hospital. Currently, I am trying to bring on a different approach in my unit. I'm working with my manager right now to bring on a proposal to teach somatic meditation in the hospital to benefit not only patients but also the nurses and the healthcare staff to kind of mitigate burnout. Yeah.
For those unfamiliar, can you explain a little more about that teaching?
So somatic meditation is just really kind of getting in tune with your body and really listening to it. When we quiet down our mind, I like to think of kind of our body and kind of our energy field as just a gigantic like supercomputer that can be decoded. There's just too much kind of going on up here. Like there's so much noise all the time, so many distractions that oftentimes we can't even quiet ourselves down to listen to what our body is telling us. Or it's the opposite, and our body is telling us things all the time. We're like, oh, that's just my like brain going off. Like drink more water, drink more water. Yeah, I know I should drink more water, but I don't have time to. So you just slough it off. But that's your body actually talking to you and telling you what it really needs. And sometimes these things are really, really small that you can implement into your daily life. So the process of the somatic meditation is really to kind of get down to that level where you are able to listen to your body, and not only that, but just kind of expand your awareness more to other things around you, that everybody's kind of allowed to have their own experience, and you kind of get to the point where it doesn't really affect you. Kind of like toddlers. Like they just go about and they live their life, and you can say something and they're like completely unbothered. They're like, you can't you can't mess up my flow right now. I'm going to live my life no matter what you have to say or no matter how bothersome you are. And it's kind of just getting to that state where you can just have peace within yourself and peace of mind no matter what goes on around you, because there's always stressors in life. The majority of them we can't control. So the only thing that we can do is just increase our awareness that everybody's allowed to have their own experience just as we are.
You touched on two really great points. One of the biggest things, I think it's so important to listen to your body and learning, as you mentioned, those signals when your body is really stressing. Hey, I need water. Or, hey, I'm not feeling so great. Or, just really listening and honing in on those kind of warnings, or just when your body gives you that heads up, I think is really important.
So important. And it's really easy to be able to get to that point. I mean, it does take work, like anything. Listening to your body, just like it's like building a muscle. You can't expect to run a marathon after never even having worked out. It takes time to get there, time and consistency, which I think people are a little bit impatient sometimes. We do like the instant gratification of like, take this pill and it will go away. But it's really not going to go away. It's just putting a band-aid on it. I've had so many people say like, oh, I don't have blood pressure problems anymore because I'm on blood pressure medication. Well, no, you take the medication away, you still have blood pressure problems. So we have to get to the root cause of what that is. And it's not to say that you should not take medication. Like if you need that to like get through your day to day, whether it's pain medication, antidepressants, blood pressure medication, definitely take that. But we should also be looking into, okay, what do we need to do now to be able to actually solve the problem and then get off of these medications so that you can live a more joyful life and you don't have to take pills every day, because that kind of sucks. And there's a lot of side effects to them. Nobody likes that.
I couldn't agree more. I think one of the other things you touched on is really controlling what you can control, but also not being bothered or not engaging with those things you can control. Because as you mentioned, everyone has a different life experience. Everyone interacts with the world differently. And I was in education, and I remember learning that there's a variety of learners out there, and, just trying to find ways best to exist, cooperate, collaborate with the world around you.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
On everyone's journey, there's a chance they can go east, a chance they can go west, maybe even north up to Canada. Can you give me an example of your life when you made a decision not knowing the outcome?
Yeah, I think there are definitely plenty. When I was younger, I moved to another province alone. My sister eventually did follow me, so that was nice. But that was a jump. And I think even nursing school, being a single mom and trying to juggle that. Like I had to miss out on a lot of my son's life. He was a year old when I had joined, and the nursing program is definitely not an easy one. There was a lot of late nights. And I think just like going into this now, into this migraine coaching, this was a huge jump for me. This was something that I was completely uncomfortable with just a couple of years ago. Being on camera with you would have not happened. So that too was definitely a jump. Yeah, and I think there's so many. Yes,
What do you think pushed you to take that jump, take that next step?
I think it's always when my children are definitely my drive. I always kind of want to like build something for them, build something to leave them. And I also think it's just like the advocacy for patients. I definitely have like a bigger picture towards this and towards what I am trying to build in the end. And that goal, no matter how extreme it is, that is always my drive because once I get there, yeah, it's going to be thrilling.
I love that. Justine, what's a piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
Oh, to not hold yourself back. Never be afraid to make mistakes. Never be afraid to laugh at yourself. I used to be so afraid of failure and just have to be perfect all the time. Perfectionism was definitely one of my downfalls. But now it's like, you know what? I'm human. I make mistakes all the time. I am go, go, go. And just there, like something had slipped my mind. And normally I would have been so embarrassed about that. My cheeks would have gone all red. I wouldn't have been able to continue. But now it's like, you know what? I'm human. Laugh it off, whatever. And life goes on because really everybody's kind of so focused on themselves that you think that everybody's paying attention to you, but you're a slip in and a slip out, really. Yeah, the things that really stick in my mind is people's stories and just like hearing about their lives and that's all that really that matters.
Justine, I love that you mentioned that. I think so much we get trapped in our own cocoon of what other people are thinking about us or thinking about what we're doing. And as you mentioned, in reality, they're probably not paying a whole lot of attention. Maybe they'll see what you're doing. Maybe they'll see the post. Maybe they'll see it. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, good for you. Or, oh, that's great. She's doing that. And that's really the end of the conversation in their head. So it doesn't even get back to you that they weren't thinking about you or they were thinking about you. So I think just going for it is just a great way to live by, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you are trying to do something like this or reach out because there's always one person that can actually like benefit from your story. There's always somebody struggling that's like looking for that hope that okay, somebody else got out of this or somebody else is doing this too. Somebody else is going through this and it's really nice to have that like relation with other people and just to know that you aren't alone.
I think it's so
Yeah.
great to let people know they're not alone. As you mentioned, even if it helps one person, who knows, it could help people months down the years down the road, but someone listening or someone catching a clip of the episode and just maybe they push it towards you or maybe they find the help they need. So that's I really commend you on that outlook.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah, and just like talking to people at the hospital, you learn so much and you gain so much strength, obviously, from other people's stories too. Just hearing what other people have overcome, it just like it gives you the strength and the courage to move forward and to know that there are solutions to no matter what you're trying to achieve in life, no matter how like crazy it may seem, like there's always a way.
Justine, I love that outlook. So, title of the podcast, Into the Unknown. What's your unknown? What are you stepping into? What are you working on?
Well, yeah, currently, as I had mentioned, I'm trying to just like bring a difference and really change healthcare, honestly, is my goal. There is so much in the hospital right now that can easily be prevented. It really can. And that is a lot of education and prevention and just more awareness to like how you can treat your body. And just kind of my end goal with everything and just reaching out to as many people as I possibly can throughout the world is is my unknown at the moment. Yeah. I want to go big and be able to help as many people as I can.
I love that, Justine. So you mentioned migraine coaching. Where can people find more about what you're doing and how to reach out to you if they want to?
They can find me on Instagram under my name, Justine Charcier, or my tag is Justine Charcier _. They can also find me on Facebook at Justine Charcier and LinkedIn as well. Anytime somebody needs to reach out, they can just private message me there. And I am always happy to help somebody and even offer a free health assessment to those who need.
Justine, I love that. We'll make sure to link that in the show notes. My last question for you, what is something you're really excited about going into 2024, going into the rest of the year, the next 3 quarters?
Oh, the next 3 quarters is again just helping as many people as I can. I am reaching out to more people, more sufferers. There are so many out there. I had posted like a question in a Facebook group just asking like what people are struggling with, and right away I got 500 comments of people that are struggling and that need help. And I am really just for my 2024 just hitting all those 500 people and getting them the relief that they deserve.
Justine, I love that. I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a great conversation.
That was another fun episode of Into the Unknown. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen. And if it provides you any value or entertainment, I would love if you shared it with others, liked, subscribed, and really just help the podcast grow. Again, tell a friend, tell a foe, just anyone who might enjoy hearing some stories of people's own journeys and what got them to where they are today. Till next time.